With so many ways to make money nowadays, it's pretty easy to get overwhelmed based on those choices. With these additional choices we have of making money, a lot of times we do need one, two, maybe three sources of income, seeing as how we don't live in a society where you can simply just work hard at a company and then they'll take care of you for the rest of their life. Needless to say, I feel that's not even necessary anymore because we have so many resources that are available to us nowadays. And in this video, I'll be covering 10 side hustles that you can do to start making some extra money. And some of these, if you put in even more effort, they can become full-time. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome to another video produced by Financial Anatomy, the place where you can take control of your financial destiny. And in this video, we'll be covering 10 side hustles you can start right now to make some additional money, or maybe even go full-time if you so desire. For those of y'all that are new here, my name is Elijah, and I've been self-employed for about 3 years. And most of these side hustles that I mentioned, some of them I still do, but a lot of them I actually was doing back when I was in the workforce. See, I started this channel because, unlike the school system, I want to give young adults a strong foundation to tackle their financial destinies and ultimately get what they want. And nowadays, a side hustle can play a big component in that. So I'm going to make you a promise. I'm only going to cover things which I've already done in terms of side hustle. I'm not going to be talking about things I haven't done or things that I've researched but have no experience with. Everything I'll be bringing up are things that I've done, and I'll be giving you some tips on how to get started with them. Coming in at number 10 is becoming an Uber Eats driver. Now this is interchangeable with the other companies, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. I have the experience with Uber Eats, so that's why I'm recommending them. But being an Uber Eats driver is actually probably one of the most accessible side hustles that you can start because it requires virtually nothing to get started. All you really need is a car, a little driving experience, and an ID to get started. And this allows you to start making money almost literally within a few days of you applying. And for those of you that don't care much for the social dynamic, in this particular case, it's not really a factor. See, no one's gonna be in the car with you as you're delivering the food, and you're free to listen to whatever music you want, or you can even listen to a podcast or two and increase your skills in a different area, all while making money as a delivery driver. So if you're not looking to socialize too much in terms of a side hustle, but you do want some extra money, then I would highly recommend giving Uber Eats a try. Coming in at number 9 is being a rideshare driver. Now this is one that is very similar to being a delivery driver, except for there's an added social component. So if you're a people person, or you actually don't mind people at the very minimum, being a rideshare driver can be a good fit for you. Back when I first started driving for Uber, I've always been kind of a sociable person, but it finally clicked on me that the more sociable and accommodating you can be to customers, the higher your income, because a lot of them will tip you. Now there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Uber and Lyft and just rideshare in general. And I know some of y'all are concerned, like, what about the safety and all that? Well, I will say that there are factors in your control that you can do to control that. I know drivers that just do airports, so the main people in the back of their car, accountants, lawyers, CEOs, people going on vacation. So that's a much more safer environment. Or you can just avoid the hours, which a lot of this stuff you hear in terms of bad news happens, like the bar rush between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. You know, that's when a lot of that stuff you be reading about happens. But that's also when you can make the most money, so that's something to take into consideration. I should also note, if you're interested in becoming an Uber driver or Uber Eats driver, I have a full second channel called The App Lifestyle that's dedicated towards making money on your phone. And I would encourage you to take a look at the free courses, yes I said free, that you can use to your advantage to master this side hustle, and you can sign up there as well. And yes, that is a referral or affiliate link, so that does go towards supporting the channel. Coming in at number 8 is being a virtual assistant. See, if you're pretty tech savvy, and let's say you're not particularly like very specialized in one set skill, but you're kind of a jack of all trades. If you're a generalist, then that means you could be a good candidate for being a virtual assistant. See, being a virtual assistant requires you to be somewhat savvy with email, somewhat savvy with Facebook, somewhat savvy with Twitter, maybe somewhat savvy with YouTube. Kind of a jack of all trades, but you don't necessarily have to be a master at all those things. And the level of entry can actually be kind of low too, because a lot of the stuff you can learn on the job, so to speak. So you can enter it with a very semi-basic skill level, and whoever you're working under will kind of lace you up and let you know how to do things, and you can build up to the skill level of being a full-on virtual assistant. And once you have that skill set, hey, it's with you, and you can use it from there on with other people if you desire to expand this side hustle into a full-time income. It is a pretty accessible option as long as you have a computer. And like I said, if you're a jack of all trades, this could be something worth pursuing for you. As far as getting clients for this side hustle, you could always reach out to companies directly, but I am going to recommend a few freelancing sites like Fiverr, Upwork, and freelance.com, also guru.com. The only problem with those is you don't own the relationship with the client. So if you try and take the relationship off that platform, I've heard stories of these platforms removing you from their service. So that's something to be aware of. You're not going to actually own that relationship. So they're good if you want to immediately get started, but I would build the skill set of getting clients directly. And that might include cold calling at your local chamber of commerce, or just getting out to more events and introducing yourself as a virtual assistant. I wouldn't rely on them long term because, like I said, they can just cut you off. It's very similar to a lot of other platforms where they can just cut you off for whatever reason. And if you haven't done a good job building your, I'll say, business up outside of that platform, you can kind of be stuck in a loop. Next up, we have Social Media Manager, which is one of my personal favorites. Now, this is different from the virtual assistant in the sense of you'll just be focusing on social media. And there's two types of social media managers. There's the kind of generalized at all the social medias, well, between generalized and specialized, and then there's a specialist at a particular one. Based on which one you want, that should determine how you build the skill set up. Now, what I mean by that, if you're looking to be the jack of all trades, you need to be good at all the social medias: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all that stuff. But if you just want to specialize in one, which actually turns out to be more valuable in big companies, they'll have a specialist dedicated to one social media each. They need to pick one to focus on. And that's the type of social media manager I am. When I do work for the rideshare guy, I focus specifically on YouTube. And there's a reason for that. And it was negotiated that way. I don't like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook I'll manage, but it's just kind of neutral. But I actually love YouTube. So that's the one I decided to focus on and promote myself as. Since I'm not a jack of all trades, if you can really focus and narrow in on one platform, you're gonna learn the ins and outs of that platform. And if you can show the results in terms of money and numbers to your client, that can make you a very valuable resource. When it comes to this particular way of side hustling, you need to decide if you're going to charge per hour or per project. For something like this, if you're looking for something more stable, more long term, I'm going to recommend you go the per hour basis. But if it's something more short term, you might want to consider charging per project. If you charge per project, that means the faster you finish tasks, the faster you get paid, and you can efficiently just raise more money quickly. But if you do opt out for the hourly, well, there's a base steady income that's going to be coming in based on your efforts, and that's money you can directly plan on and do things with. So they both have pros and cons. So that's just a little something to consider. Next up, we have starting a YouTube channel. Now, YouTube can be seen as a side hustle or full-time gig. I mean, you're watching me talk about something I'm pretty knowledgeable on. But you don't have to full-on be knowledgeable about something. You can be passionate about something, or you can be entertaining. I will just warn you that the educational content here on YouTube tend to have higher CPM rates, that is ad rates, so you won't make as much money in the entertainment industry as you will if you're educating people on certain things like finance and business and rideshare. But I wouldn't let that be the sole reason for you starting YouTube. It should just be something you're passionate about. But outside of Google AdSense, which is the way I was talking about of getting paid, there's several ways you can monetize a YouTube channel. Through brand deals, through sponsorships, obviously there's AdSense, through affiliate marketing, which we'll get to later on this list. And the list goes on. If y'all want me to make a video exclusively about how to monetize a YouTube channel, let me know in the comments below. But nowadays, starting a YouTube channel can be something you do in your spare time, and in the future, it can turn into a big asset for you in terms of affecting your wallet and your bank account. And this is something, if you put the energy into it and monetize it multiple ways, it can give you a full-time income if that's what you desire. But for the moment, it can serve as a great side hustle. Just realize that it's not going to take off immediately, so it will require some delayed gratification. Next up, we have being a consultant. Now, regardless if you want to admit it or not, you are an expert at something, and people are willing to pay for that expertise if you just put yourself out there and put your rates out there. Tying this back to me, I consult on online marketing, building a business, and social media, YouTube in particular. And that's a skill set that I picked up by doing those things. If you have a vast expertise and a methodical way on how to get someone from point A to point B, then that makes you a great candidate for being a consultant. I recommend that you don't charge per hour and you charge per session, because that's going to allow you to make the maximum amount of money, and it will make it just a little more scalable. What I mean by scalable is you can start counting, if I get X amount of clients, I'll make X amount of dollars, and then you can go from there. So to start off with this side hustle, just get a piece of paper and write down things that people have told you you're good at, or things that you know that you're good at, okay? And if you can't think of anything, just write down your talents and start refining those things you wrote down on your list. If you can, just focus on one for now, because it does require a level of focus, because you want to be a specialist in this category, not a generalist. But once you cultivate that skill, the market is wide open for you to cut a nice share of it. I'm going to recommend Fiverr and Upwork, those sites to get started. But I'm also going to highly recommend that whatever you're specialized in, you attend events in your local city, or local metroplex rather, and just talk to people. And when you talk to people, you're going to get some contacts, and you can build a consulting business great that way. Just make sure you have some business cards made, whether it be virtual or physical cards, and just be a little resourceful. Coming up next, we have a video editor. This one I'm very passionate about. The reason I'm passionate about this is if you have a skill set with technology, it's almost like this side hustle was born for you, because you can learn all the skills on how to do this efficiently on here, on YouTube. All you have to do is become familiar with the software you'll need. You can even start out with something as simple as iMovie, which is a basic program on a Mac, and work your way up to something more advanced like Adobe Premiere Pro. If you wanted to, you could start out with Adobe Premiere Pro, or just Sony Vegas, or these higher softwares. But be aware that some of these have some investment capital that you will need to invest first in order to get access to them. But if you're willing to do that, you could just start off using those higher platforms. And this is a niche that is very lucrative once you get good at it. So if you want to cut your market share in this niche, you start off charging reasonably and build your skill level up to the point to where you can develop high level projects. And by doing that, you can make a very, very good side hustle, or even full-time income, just based off of video editing. As far as the type of money you can make video editing, man, it ranges so much based on your skill level. It can go from $200 per project to $2,000 per project. It all depends on your skill level. But if you treat this seriously, this side hustle, you could keep doing whatever you do for your main source of income. But even this being a side hustle at 10 to 20 hours a week, you can make maybe an extra $2,000 to $3,000 if you hone in your skills good enough. Now, I would recommend you charge per project, because if you charge per hour, the faster you get the project done, you're kind of punished for it. Versus if you charge per project, the faster you get it done, the faster you can move on to another project. So you're rewarded for speed and efficiency. So that's just something to take into consideration. Next, we have becoming a writer. Now, this is a niche that has a few different flavors to it. The most obvious one being a freelance writer. If you're passionate about a subject, we'll just use health and wellness for instance, and you have a talent for writing, then this could actually be a great side hustle for you. All you have to do is start honing your skills by writing. You can start out blogging, and that could be an entryway into you becoming a freelance writer. It does require some marketing and reaching out to publications that could probably use your work. And once you do reach out, if you already have a body of work to show for it in the form of a blog, they'll be willing to try you out. All you got to do is really blow their socks off with the first chance they give you. And this can be a reoccurring thing where you keep reaching out to them or they keep reaching out to you as far as writing more articles for their publication. You could also become a ghostwriter. There are companies that need certain things written on certain topics, but they don't have the time to write them themselves. So they'll hire ghostwriters to write that topic, and then they'll proofread what you submitted and make their little tweaks and publish it on their blog or whatever medium they're involved with. This is becoming very popular, especially like in niches like the finance niche. Believe it or not, the rideshare niche is pretty popular with this too. And those are just two examples. This is more of a universal thing, so they're not confined to those two niches. So that's something to consider also. You just have to prove your skills first and have a portfolio you can show someone to really convince them that, yeah, we're going to get our money's worth if we hire you on as a ghostwriter. A more solitary approach, if you have an expertise and a skill of writing, is to write a book. And I'm a good example of this. The Anatomy of Financial Success. It's a book that teaches people the art of personal finance and how to organize it to keep their life moving forward financially. See, writing the book is severely underrated in my opinion, because it has the ability to give you both active and passive income, especially if you make it available as an ebook and maybe as a physical book on Amazon or this time around it's probably going to be Amazon, but it can be set up to be 100% passive and you did the work or the writing once. Now, if you do this, I recommend that you make a book available in all formats. So that's ebook, paperback, hardcover if you're looking to get your book in certain educational venues, and also audiobook. Now, the audiobook is a little more optional, but if you don't do it, you're leaving money on the table. But this is a great side hustle, and it can be a great full-time income if you really want to get aggressive with it and turn it into a business and monetize it. But at the very least, it could be a side hustle, and it could be a side hustle that you do that just ends up paying you dividends in the future because the work has already been done. And you'll be known as an author, and this book can get you better gigs in the future in terms of speaking engagements. It can be the launching pad into other avenues. So that's definitely something you want to consider. It is a more solitary approach, and the money is more spread out over a length of time. You wouldn't see immediate payoffs by writing a book like you would with being a freelance writer, but it does pay off in the long term if you take it seriously. Next, we have affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing has become very, very, very popular in the last few years. Me, myself, I've made a decent amount of money on Amazon affiliates, but that is probably the most entry level and lowest affiliate there is. What I mean by that is the percentages are so low because it's between like 1% and 4%. But based on what industry you want to enter, there are great affiliate programs that you can get involved in that pay around 50% commission. I'll give a few examples. This channel is affiliated with TubeBuddy, ConvertKit, and also Lead Pages. These are affiliates that I use in my business, and they actually pay reoccurring commissions based on how long a person is signed up using a service. That's the first type of affiliate marketing. The second type is when you get paid once for referring an affiliate. Now, those types, you want to set a threshold minimum that a company needs to pay you in order to promote them. Because if you're only going to be getting paid once, make sure it's worth it. Versus the more reoccurring ones, I would take a lower payout because it's reoccurring every single month. So it's that steady income. A great combination for affiliate marketing to funnel through is actually with one of the other side hustles, starting a YouTube channel. Let's use health and wellness again. So you're starting a health and wellness channel and you talk about various things you can do to improve your health, and you use certain equipment when you're working out. Well, guess what? Get a few thousand views and apply for Amazon's affiliate program. Get accepted, and you can put all the products, not the products, but you can put all the equipment you use in your affiliate list in the links in the comments section. And once you do that, if someone makes a purchase, you'll get a commission. And not just in that immediate moment, but if it's within 24 hours of them making that purchase. Not bad. And that's just Amazon. There's several things in health and wellness, like the Vitamix. They have an affiliate program. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know they have one. There's the Ninja blenders. There's certain supplements. This video isn't about health and wellness affiliate marketing, but you get where I'm going. But you do have to decide what industry you want to enter. Generally speaking, stick to the finance, health, or relationships, and you're gonna find those are the three main categories. Then you have little sub niches within there, but those are the areas where affiliate marketing is really gonna have some heavy weight. Also, tech, because if you're reviewing tech like camera lenses and things like that, it can be pretty lucrative. And last but not least, the most underrated avenue in terms of a side hustle, in my opinion, is referrals. Some people include affiliates and referrals in the same category, and that's fair. I can see you doing that, but I'm keeping them separate because they are just a little different. Referrals can actually include offline, like affiliate marketing. For the most part, it's really associated with online, versus referrals can be online and offline. Let's talk about the online first. Think about the services that you use on a regular basis. And regular doesn't have to mean every day, every week, or even every month. It can be annually. What things do you use all the time? That's a great avenue for referrals. In fact, if you want to know more about online referrals, you should check out my video, How I Made My First $10,000 Online. In it, I share how I made over $10,000 just setting up an online structure for Uber and Uber Eats in terms of referrals. This isn't driving. This money was made online through referrals, and it was set up passively, so I had to make the content for the YouTube channel, but that aside, money just kept flowing in after the content was made. So if you're interested in that, you'll definitely want to check out that video linked in the card at the top of the video right now. But let's look at offline. What is something we all need done? Taxes. Sometimes we might do it ourselves, but a lot of us, we hire a tax advisor to file our taxes. Well, let me ask you this. Does your tax person have a referral program? If you say you don't know, after you finish this video, give them a call and ask them. And if you know they don't, you might want to consider finding a different tax advisor. Because in the taxes industry, it's actually pretty common to come across people that have referral programs. I mean, my tax advisor specifically, he'll send me $50 for every person I send his way and they file their taxes. But truth be told, that's actually on the low end. Some people will pay as much as $200, especially if they're the more affluent clients where they're gonna have a big tax return and they get a big share of that. They're willing to pay you more if you can send them those type of clients. Let's talk about real estate. People buy houses all the time. And when that happens, they look at realtors, they look at real estate agents, and in some cases, they may be talking to a real estate investor. Did you know that a lot of these real estate investors will send you around $500 to $2,000 if a deal goes through that you send their way? In fact, making this side hustle practical you can go around as you're driving, let's say for Uber Eats, another side hustle. And if you see a house that says for sale by owner, they all love that phrase because that means they can negotiate with the owner directly and not there's nothing else involved. Then guess what? If that deal goes through, all you gotta do is take a picture, send it to them. They reach out, that deal goes through. You can make between $500 and $2,000, and some may even pay more because you got to realize the amount of money they're gonna make if that deal goes through. That's a very lucrative side hustle. You can turn that into a full-time income. In fact, you can become a literal human lead generator for a real estate investor, and it can pay pretty decent. So don't underestimate this. And the best thing about that is it can be combined with some of these other niches like rideshare and Uber Eats. And there you have it. You have 10 side hustles that you can do today to start making some money. But let's hear in the comments, what was your favorite one? And why is it your favorite one? Is there a side hustle that wasn't on this list that you feel should have been? And if so, leave it in the comments. What's your experience been with that particular side hustle? I said I was going to stick to the ones that I personally have done. So that's why this list was 10, but there are several more side hustles, and I would love to hear it in the comments below. If you found value in this video, give it a like for the YouTube algorithm, much appreciated, and subscribe if you're new, as we talk about different subjects on personal finance and also how to increase your income. This is Elijah with Financial Anatomy. I will see you in the next video.